What is up, record nerds and punk rock fans of the internet? Today, we're getting controversial. I'm going to give you the top 10 most overrated punk records in my record collection. Let's go.
Six in the morning.
So I don't know how many people know this that don't actually have YouTube channels, but you can actually look at the analytics of your video and see how many people unsubscribe while watching a video. I hope there isn't too many of those after this video. Now, there's a bunch of overrated punk albums I don't own, and I actually cheated and included one that I no longer own because I sold it, but I would still own it, if that makes sense. Anyway, on with the show. Oh, and I would normally say that these are in no order, but there is kind of an order. I've kind of ordered them in terms of audacity. You'll see what I mean. First on the list, Descendants, 9th and Walnut. This is the original lineup of the Descendants that people cared about. It wasn't really the original lineup because Milo wasn't in the original lineup. I don't even think Bill was in the original lineup. Regardless. So this was an album that they had written before Milo Goes to College, and they recorded it over the years before Frank Nevada died. And when this came out, everyone loved it, except for me. I hate everything about this record. I don't like any of the songs. I hate this cover. Now, I think this is like, I assume this is where they would practice back then. But, like, why did they change the font? And I don't like this at all. And everyone, like I said, was going gaga for this record. And I just found it to be not very good. As much as I love Milo Goes to College. Oh, this is how bad this record is. I bought it, and then I listened to it when Epitaph sent me the MP3s, and I never even opened it because I didn't like it. Okay. Now I should maybe reiterate, if I didn't already iterate, I kind of like all of these records to some extent. So when I'm saying they're overrated, I'm not saying that they're bad. They're just not as good as people claim them to be, in my opinion. Sam I Am Sore. I love Sam I Am. They're one of my favorite bands, as is the Descendants, quite frankly. There's actually my top 3 bands of all time. They all appear on this list somewhere. We've actually hit both of them right off the top. So I love the first song on this album, Clean, and then after that, it kind of goes into a very not so great place. There's a couple of other decent songs, but I prefer everything that came before this and everything that came after this. And lots of people will say that this is their favorite album, and I cannot understand why, because it's not as good. I think this is still in press from Cleopatra. I think Cleopatra bought out New Red Archives, so this is still available. I bought this, I don't know, doing math, over 20 years ago. So this is on blue vinyl. Now this one is arguably not even a punk record, and you, I guess, would be right, but I'm putting it on this list because it's my list, not your list. Joy Division, Closer. Some people call this Closer. I don't think that's accurate. I think this is close.
Today, Junior?
I think this is Closer. This is, I think, the first press made in England as it's stamped down here. Now, I really like the first Joy Division record. I like the 7-inch. And this is where they lost me. Because this is just, I don't know. I'm not into this. Maybe I should try again. All right. This is where we really start annoying people. Refused. Shape of Punk to Come. I think I've talked about this before, but a lot of the things that they did was just aggregating stuff other people did. For example, like a lot of the sound of the hardcore stuff is like stealing from Snapcase, and then a lot of like Shape of Punk to Come that came from Ornette Coleman's Shape of Jazz to Come. The Rye Coalition did a cover that looked very much like this. There's stuff that like they got from Nation of Ulysses. There's stuff that they got, like this song. Like that's a direct ripoff of Born Against. So, did I say this? I don't know if I said this. It's just them aggregating a bunch of stuff and putting it onto a record that kind of annoys me, how people thought it was this new great thing, and I'm just like, well, what about all the things that they stole from to get this? I don't know. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh boy. People aren't gonna... From Refused to the Replacements, Let It Be. Oh no, not Let It Be. Yes, Let It Be. On Twin Tone, before Rhino started reissuing all this stuff. Now, there's some really amazing songs on here. And there's a lot of really dumb songs I don't ever want to hear again. I would say there's 4 good songs on here, which is less than half. And I would say one of those songs is like, meh. Like I Will Dare is the meh. Favorite Thing is good. And then Unsatisfied and Answering Machine. And the rest of them I don't really... I don't know. Everyone... I think a lot of the love for this has to come from the cover, because it's such an interesting cover. It's such an iconic cover that people just default to this, but they have better records than this. Keeping It Minnesota. Oh no. Husker Du's, Zen Arcade.
I hate you! I hope you die!
This is an album that everyone talks about. And it's not my least favorite Husker Du record, but I don't think it's as good as everyone trips over themselves to pretend like it is. I think a lot of I think people are really into psychedelic rock more than I am, because this is sort of a more psychedelic sounding punk record than I need to hear. It's also a concept album, and the concept to me is, I don't know, kind of boring. Like, who cares? But, you know, people talk about this like it's, I don't know. I was going to say a Beatles record, but I don't like the Beatles either, any of them. So there's that. Again, one of my favorite bands of all time. Top 3. So there we go. We've hit all the my 3 favorite bands. All making this list. Oh, God. The Minor Threats.
Boo! You stink!
Minor Threat, of course, invented straight edge. And I'm straight edge. And I've been straight edge my entire life. And I still remember the first time I heard this. My friend let me borrow this tape when I was freshman in high school. 1989, I heard this. And I'm like, what? I don't like this. And I don't know. There's something about all of it that I just not my favorite thing ever. It's my least favorite Ian MacKaye band up until the last two Ian MacKaye bands, I suppose. And Egg Hunt. I don't really consider that a real band. Maybe you do. I don't. Minor Threat. Not my favorite Ian MacKaye band. And an overrated band in general. But come at me. Oh, it only gets worse from there. Okay, so this is where I cheat, and I have my record that I no longer own. And it is Black Flag's Damaged.
Boo this man!
I used to have the Unicorn pressing, and I sold that to a friend. He bought a whole bunch of records off me, and that was one of them. And I sold it because it's not my least favorite Black Flag record, but the start of all of my least favorite Black Flag records, because Henry Rollins is in it, and Henry Rollins is their worst singer. And if you don't believe that, then I don't know. Like, do you not hear the other ones? I first heard that record, I bought it on CD. It was back when CDs came in those long boxes. So I cut out the long box and I plastered it on my wall as a kid. And it had that, and then it had the Jealous Again EP. And I didn't like Henry's voice. I mean, Rise Above is their arguably best song. I might go with Depression or Nervous Breakdown, but like that's, at least top three. And Rollins' voice is just so not good on that it was just such a turnoff. And then once I got to the Jealous Again stuff, I'm like, oh, this is so much better. So, I don't know. I still own my Jealous Again record. I didn't sell that. Oh boy. The record that spawned so many bands I dislike. Bad Religion, Suffer.
Boy, you must really suck.
This was their first album after breaking up, after they decided to become a prog rock band. And this is seen as their best record by a lot of like NoFX type mall punk people. And it's not my favorite Bad Religion album. I've kind of outgrown Bad Religion. Bad Religion is a band that you hear in high school and you're blown away by. And then you read the lyrics and you're like, oh, they're using big words that in this context of the lyrics don't make any sense. So why are they doing that? And then, I don't know. It just seems silly to predicate your whole band on crapping on religions. I don't know. As the older I get, the more I see that stuff as being just like stupid and immature. But, Bad Religion, Suffer. I would still say it's a good record. Just overrated. Oh boy. Top number one. The most overrated punk album of all time. Because it's not even their best record. The Clash. London Calling.
You suck! You are no talent! You disgrace! You are everything that's gone wrong in this world! You are self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit!
This is if not the first press, an early press. This album contains lyric content. Lyric content? Shouldn't be lyrical content. This album includes lyric content which may be offensive to some members of the public. What song is offensive? I guess there's one line in one song that might be construed as, because they say the F word, and they imply nuns having sex. Can I say that on YouTube? I just did. So, if this was a single album and you took out all the bad songs, it would be maybe their best album. Like, side one, London Calling, great. Brand New Cadillac, not good. Jimmy Jazz, not good. Hateful, not good. Rudy Can't Fail, I don't need that song. It's okay. So you have one good song on that. Maybe two. Side two, Spanish Bombs. That's a good song. The Right Profile. Lost in a Supermarket. That's a good song. Clampdown. That's a good song. Guns of Brixton. Not a good song. Wrong and Boyo. Not a good song. Death or Glory. A great song. Coca-Cola. Not a good song. The Card Sheet, that's a decent song. Lovers Rock, not good. The Four Horsemen, I don't think that's a good song. I'm Not Down, that's a good song. Revolution Rock, not a good song. And then the one that's not on there, someone actually wrote it in here. I don't know if you could see that. I just noticed that today. Someone actually wrote in, and they call it Stand By Me, which is not the name of the song. It's Train in Vain, you dummy. But it's kind of charming that someone wrote that on there a long time ago. That's a good song. So you extract the bad songs, you have a really good song, but the fact that this is so bloated with songs that I don't think are good, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's got a cool cover. Paul smashing his bass. It's a great cover. But I don't know. I hear people talk about this record, and I'm like, this isn't even the best Clash record because of all the bad songs. But come at me. Tell me why I'm wrong. And I'm sure someone will. And if you're going to unsubscribe, don't. And if you are anyway, let me know why. Which one of these offend you? I'd love to know. Because I'm sure someone's going to be offended by some or a bunch or all of these choices. And I would love to hear your rationale as to why my opinions are so... Like, I like the record. There's a lot of really good songs on this. There's a lot of really good songs on all of these, except for maybe the Descendants, Ninth, and Walnut. Which I would totally sell if it was worth money, but it's not. What are your top 10 overrated punk records? Put them down below. Or put down one. You don't have to put 10. That's a big commitment. Just put down one. Let me know one record that you think is like everyone talks about as this great thing, and you're just like, meh. It's okay. Again, I like these all well enough to own them. Except for Damaged. Have a good day.
For all those haters out there, suck my ass.